we've already been talking about it, so let's just jump right to 22 G's or 22 G's growth and development. This again, another young rapper who's put out a lot of projects on streaming already. I think this is like his second official album,
Correct.
but I think there's like 4 or 5 mixtapes from starting in 2017 up till now
Mhm.
that are also on Spotify. I can't remember. Did we say he's going to be one of the XXL freshmen or should be?
So he's my favorite of the Brooklyn drill guys popping right now in the wake of Pop Smoke's passing. But I actually think 504 is in the best spot to make that list is because has a slightly bigger profile and has I think a bigger songs right now with, sounds like Big Drip. And it sounds like, um, Drake, who uh, released a drill song, Drill Lucy at the turn of the year called War. Talking to the producer, AXL Beats, he basically said that Drake picked up on this and wanted to do this after hearing some 5-Yo songs. So I think 5-Yo is in the lead, but 22 G's is my personal favorite just because between last year's the Blicky tape, Growth and Development that we just got, man, he has this aggression that he brings with his flow, with his delivery. It's just so menacing, just so grim. And it's exactly what drill music is. It's about the
Mm-hmm.
telling you about that street violence that has impacted the lives of these artists. And in 22G's case, I think he just has a real presence on the mic. Songs like Cash App, his flow on 4 times, like I think his shit hits, no questions. That was
Yep.
awesome. He just it's really great, I think, and it's really cool just to see all these guys pop in Brooklyn right now because they're all riding these UK producers, AXL Beats and 808 Mellow. They've made the biggest songs for pop, 5-Yo, 22G's, and Chef G and Smooth L. All the biggest guys in Brooklyn are basically using the same 2 producers. It's kind of nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was I was listening to this. Usually, I listen with headphones on, but I was doing other work while I was doing this, so I had this playing in my living room. And Julianne, who I mentioned before, was listening. Julianne, not a big fan of rap, just in general. Like she likes the popular stuff, but isn't really deep into this. And I look over, and she's headbanging along to these songs, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, this album fucking goes. And that was like, I was enjoying it, but I was like, I don't know if this is really something Julianne would like. And she liked it. And I think
right.
that just speaks to the quality of not only Tutu's ability to make songs that are drill. I mean, like, I think if there's one critique for me, almost every single song starts out with like that ambient noise, and then there's finally like that really hard
Yep.
beat drop. Maybe you could switch it up just a little bit in terms of sonic structure,
Sure.
but once the songs get going, these songs are undeniable. And I know you said 5-Yo is probably the favorite right now, and I think all your reasoning makes sense. But 22 seems to be, from the artists we've talked about, seems to be a worthy pick for XXL if he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
I already mentioned U-Turn, and you mentioned some of the
Mhm.
producers that he's working with, those UK producers. I think they really stand out on this as well. But I thought Pop Out actually was probably my favorite song off this. Just a really fun, go hard song. Cash App is obviously just catchy as fuck. Like there's really well constructed songs here, and a lot to like. Um, as you were working through it, did this change your opinion of Tutu and like his ceiling at all? Do you feel like this just is
Mhm.
in line with his past work, or did this feel like a jump for him?
Uh, I think it's a continuation. He really blew up back in end of 2016 with Suburban. That was like the first Brooklyn drill song of any real consequence. But then he had some legal issues and was in jail for a time. He didn't really get to rejigger his career until last year with the songs leading up to the Blicky tape. So I think he's just kind of got that footing back, and he signed to Atlantic Records, and he's actually also really affiliated with Kodak Black. Probably not the best guy to be moving with right now. Kodak's obviously in prison right now, but yeah, I think this is just kind of the continuation. He's still not really well known at all. He's not super famous, so I think there's hopefully one of these songs can really just pop for him because I think he clearly deserves a much bigger audience, but it seems to be quite local still right now. So yeah, I think he's, you know, I think technically he's probably calling these tapes, but even if there's an official debut album on the horizon, I think all these guys in general, even Fivio, who's a little more famous, they're just trying to really just elevate this buzz. So yeah, no real change in, I think, guess evaluation, but I think he's already just really impressive from a technical aspect. That, you know, assuming he can keep everything in order, you know, out in the streets, I think we're gonna get a lot from him.
Definitely. A- any song to you that you feel is just like head and shoulders above the rest?
Honestly, I would say no. I for the Blicky tape last year, there was songs that I thought really stood out, like "Spin the Block" with Kodak was my
Mhm.
obvious highlight. I guess for this case, we have uh, was it Suburban Part Two and Blicky Gang Freestyle. Those are previously released singles. I guess those are the highlights of sorts this time around in Growth and Development, but
Mhm.
nothing quite jumped out at me as much the way they did the last time. But maybe that's because he was newer to me then. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like these songs were just solid all the way through, and that's kind of what stood out to me. Was it wasn't I think Cash App's probably the catchiest of the songs, just because that hook is just
Mhm.
very catchy and undeniable. But overall, I just thought it was a really solid, well constructed album that speaks to a rapper who's really growing, technically, and just continuing to put out solid stuff. So looking forward to hearing more from 22.